Learning Saturday is an initiative where one learns and he or she shares his knowledge to the team and the world. So today's Learning Saturday's topic is detect early, fix it early, and you can say improve reliability and availability using monitoring tools in an IT organization. So let's directly get going. Ashwin? Yeah. So let me introduce ourselves to you. I am Shubham Rasa. I am a DevOps engineer, who are like mainly responsible for implementing continuous integration and continuous delivery pipelines, creating, maintaining infrastructure on cloud. Also, let me introduce to my co-host Ashwin. He is also DevOps engineer, working and experience he has experience in operations and monitoring tools. He is also going to give a great demonstration for us. So yes, we are here, Ashwin. Yes. So we are here to talk you about what is monitoring, why we are using it, and how we are getting benefited from it. And finally, you can say how you can implement this kind of technology in your organization, or you can use that. So first, let's spell out the things. What is the plan for today? So we can according to go that. Yes, we will be discussing what and why is monitoring is needed for us. What are the solutions or tools available in the market? Then Ashwin will give a interesting demo for us. Then he also going to cover one security monitoring solution, VASA, small intro to that, and we'll be having question and answer session at the end of the this webinar. You can say. Please note down your questions if you get in between the session. We'll try our best to answer your question at the end of the session. You can also comment down in the chat, so we'll get back to that question again. So let's get started. Yeah, sure. Yes. Why and what is monitoring? You can say as monitoring is an action of observing and checking the behavior of outputs of the system and its component over the time. To understand what is actual monitoring, we'll see one use case and one story, you can say. Yes, let's go to a tale of two views. And this is the traditional diagram of you can say where we deploy our application. We have multiple clients. They connect through the URL, or you can say DNS. Then DNS routes our request or client's request to the load balancer. Load balancer you can consider as a traffic police who is sitting in front of your servers and routes your client request to all the servers, and which is capable of, you can say, the servers which are capable of fulfilling that request, which ultimately gives us more performance speed. We can utilize and optimize all the resources well. If let's consider a single server goes down, the load balancer then redirects to the another server which is online. When new server is added, then we don't like we can just register our server to their load balancer, and then our load balancer automatically sends a request to that new server. And then we have one database, and we also take the database backups and as a backup server as a database replication, and at the end we can also do backups. So consider if we get any of the error in our application server, we want to then troubleshoot that error. So there are two ways. Let's consider, let's see the Shubham's way. So how Shubham's troubleshoot is, he's parallelly goes, you can say one by one, directly log into that SSH servers, and and checks the what are the processes running there, which process taking CPU, how much CPU, or which how much RAM utilizes that process, and many other things we have to consider to monitor our servers, or consider our application is running. So how much CPU is it taking, we have to tune that application, how much memory it is required, and how much your memory is utilizing it. We can see that. Then we have other commands. Ashwin, yes. So we have multiple commands available in the Linux system. One of is free df, by which we checks the availability, what are the memory means RAM is available to us. One is command df, by which we check how much memory we have and how much is utilized, and how much is available. Then consider we have a web server, and we have to go through the logs again and again, check what are the errors, or we can use for that greping command or awk command available, or just a tail command to print the last logs available. But for that, as I mentioned, let me again describe this is on that diagram the previous shown. Yes, Ashwin, come back. So consider this diagram again. Suppose you have something error in one of the server which is not properly responding to a client request, and you are not sure which of the server is actually occurring that error, occurring that problem. So what Shubham does is, so manually goes login into that server, checks all of these criteria and all of these commands using strace or greping or awk commands, analyze those logs, and then finds the way of again. Shubham is finds that way what is the error, but it was a painful, or you can say a lot of guessing involved, and risk has to be taken when these servers are like mainly deployed on production systems, right? But you can say Ashwin is a smart guy. So let's see the Ashwin's way. So Ashwin does what he does is collects all of the logs and metrics on a single another. He has another server and he collects all of the logs and matrices at there. So he don't have to manually go and log in it to each of the server. So he directly select what is the host name, the IP address of that server, you can see, and based on that he sees what are the CPU utilization is there, what is the memory that you can say all of these things which are Shubhams was doing manually. And again, it requires a lot of big learning curve to learn Linux and other commands. But in Ashwin's way, he has simpler way by which we can visualize and understand the actual data and the time, what that time it requires. uh, we can also this is the matrix dashboard, a main of where we can see network and other tools. But then we have SSH or login attempts. Our servers is always exposed to that internet, and like many of us attacking on others consider as a brute force attack, which or DDoS attacks, which they want to like you can say break down our system. And we have to also prevent that and take preventive proactively actions on that. For that, we can Ashwin has again dashboard by which we can see how much are how many people have tried to log into your servers, which are they successful and which are not successful or failed attacks, and where from it tries to log in. And you can also because we don't have that enough data, but we can you can say exact location of the coordinates, the position where it has logged in. And we can also Ashwin just show me that logs dashboard. And so we can also gather all of these servers different gathers logs from different servers at one place. Here we have consider we have a development environment. When we have staging environment, we can collect all of these environment logs at one place, and we can go through these logs. We don't have to manually go switch between the different servers, different you can say security measures we have to take. And to prevent a lot of manual labor, we can use this command to directly check uh, with the logs and analyze what's the problem actual or it was occurring. uh, does my voice is like is very low or fine? Like Ashwin, can you please confirm
Good
that?
going. It is
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
continue.
Yes. And yeah, this is what we are going to learn today, how to implement Ashwin's beautiful smart way. and not to implement or use Shubham's regular painful way. So what is the way out? So here's the help of we can take of continuous monitoring. You can say continuous monitoring and observability is the final step. You all have seen that DevOps infinite loop, right? It's one of the most crucial and the last stage of the DevOps pipeline. So, continuous monitoring is a process to monitor and identify compliance issues, security risks throughout each phase of DevOps and uh, IT operations lifecycle. We have to monitor of all of this process, and you can see here Ashwin is sitting and looking at the dashboard. So let's understand more about what is monitoring, what are the types of monitoring, and how we can implement that. Yeah. So Ashwin, let's take me to the types of the monitoring. So here there are multiple types of monitoring. Mainly, you can say segregated by things we monitor. In the types of monitoring, it consists of infrastructure monitoring, log monitoring, compliance monitoring, security, application, and network. We'll cover some of these topics briefly, and I'll tell you how what are the things we actually monitor in that monitoring system. So let's consider. First, we'll see the infrastructure monitoring. In that, we monitor CPU, so disk usage, server and system uptimes, response time to that errors, storage, security, users permission, process level usage, and relevant performance time. Many of you can say a hardware related thing or a network or security related, process related things. We monitor in the infrastructure monitoring. It is required. Um, to check our servers uptime and how much resources it is used to give up best performance whatever we require, right? Then the next is, I guess, Ashwin, is log monitoring. So log monitoring is also here we can say we have to aggregate all of these logs from different servers to a single place. Then we log monitors it. You can say what is log first thing. We all know that is what is log. A log is, you can say, a detailed list of events that has happened to your system or application. Consider your system is website, and then the logs will be what are the errors, what are the user events, or who has access to your server or any other system that occurred any error. If you like, if you name it and there is a log for it, right? We all have logs, but we only use when it stop working. So you can say logs are invaluable assets when it comes to tracking and preventing problems and finding the cause of the problem. So we have to for log monitoring we monitor auth log, authorization log. Just we have seen Ashwin's pay, who has tried to log in that system. So we analyze authorization logs for that. Then we have systems log. You can say system is one of the metrics, uh, like RAM, CPU, by which we there are multiple as well in system log included. Then application log, your application. If you are using any containerization platform, then we also want to check the output of that containerization log, container tools that like Docker, Kubernetes. We also see containers log and error counts. There will be like directly we can count in the log monitoring. This is the 404 page, and this person has tried this time on that, so we can directly count on easily on log monitoring. So we all have logs, but uh, we have to keep track of them. This is called, as you can say, a log monitoring solution. The next is Ashwin, network monitoring. Here we mostly monitor about bandwidth, what are the packets are coming and we are sending out to the client. So and the latency, endpoint status, what are the ports are open or many other tools we required, server bandwidth, and the mention I earlier that network packets flow we have to monitor here. So that's it about the types of monitoring. And like we have implemented this, but what are the benefits of this? uh, First is early detection of problems. We can identify most of the problems in development and QA environment before it going to the production. It gets real time notification. We'll see a demo of it. Let's consider your RAM CPU usage, RAM usage or memory usage is your server is use 80% of memory, and at that point you want to trigger the operation guy or any other person who is responsible for uh, doing or taking action. You want to notify them before the problem occurs. Then you want to perform monitor performance monitoring. We want to perform the servers. This is one of the best benefits. Then you improve reliability of IT resources. That's great. And facilitates the rapid responses. Again, we get the trigger and we see all at one place, so we also respond it rapidly. So towards the end of the session, we'll get practical and show you a few examples of monitoring reports, dashboard, use case of actual monitoring, log analysis, and how we troubleshoot this. We'll discuss a few tools that will help mostly to avoid this manual labor. So, what are the monitoring tools out there? So there are multiple tools available, but you have to ask yourself, does this monitoring tool meet my goals and needs? Right? So it's one of the best question to ask yourself before choosing your monitoring tools. Right? We'll see one by one. There are many, but we selected one of those which are mostly popular or famous. So Splunk is, you can consider as a enterprise solution available in the market. It is used by most of the large IT infrastructure and MNC companies. It helps in gathering, analyzing data from multiple websites, application, devices, sensors, and etc. They have three tools: Splunk Enterprise, Splunk Cloud, and Splunk Lite. It is cloud is again cloud hosted platform with same feature I am included in the enterprise, but you can install on any of the clouds such as AWS or GCP. Splunk Lite is is like agent, or you can say it allows you to search, report, and alert on based on the logs data and in a real time. So again, it has limited functionality as compared to the enterprise and cloud version. And the next is actually, yes. Mm, Grafana, yes. Many of you have already heard that this name Grafana. It's a multi-platform open source tool. You can say which is interactive visualization web application. It provides charts, graphs, alerts on real time, of which is connected to the data source. Data sources, you can data consider data source as our servers. So it is one of the famous tool available in the market. Let's see, Prometheus. You can it is a agent, lightweight agent, which pulls the matrix, you can say system matrix, RAM, CPU type things. Then Loki, you can say here, you can see push logs. It collects the logs of that from your application. Log will be there, containers log, the things we mentioned in the logging monitoring. So Loki does that. And then is Jagger tool. It is for, you can say, traces to check the performance our application, which is like if you heard the open telemetry, it is like the open telemetry. And the next is Ashwin. Yeah, Elasticsearch. The more about Elasticsearch, Ashwin will explain you in detail. That's it from my side. Over to you, Ashwin.
Hi everyone, good morning. Thank you for joining our webinar. I'm Ashwin Kaude, a DevOps engineer at Mindbrowser. So today I am going to explain you about how we are using OpenDistro for Elasticsearch. It is a alternative for Elastic Stack, which is completely open source and a large community-based driven software platform. So we are utilizing OpenDistro for Elasticsearch as our monitoring solution. And let's get into Elastic Stack. So what is Elastic Stack? It is a group of products that can reliably and securely take data or event logs from various sources like our application servers and databases. Okay, so that data is analyzed and visualized using Kibana, which is a tool from Elasticstack. So uh, we can visualize logs in real time using Kibana dashboard. Okay, so Elasticstack mainly contains of four components, which are Elastic. First is Elasticsearch, which is a search and analytics engine. It is a heart of Elasticstack. So uh, it uh, analyzes data gathered from the various sources like application servers and databases, like so. So second one is a Logstash. So Logstash is a tool for data processing and ingest data pipelines to Elasticsearch. So Logstash processes data gathered from the servers and filter out it and store it to the Elasticsearch. Okay, but we can skip it as well. So if we don't have to process or transform the data, we can skip it as well. And the third component is Kibana. Kibana, this is a visualization tool for analyze data. So we can create dashboards from the analyzed data and present it and make decisions for it. And also we can set alerts for particular events in our infrastructure. So Kibana is mainly for the visualization and uh, alerting purposes. And last but not least, there are beats. So beats are nothing but the lightweight agents which are installed on remote servers like our application server. So we can easily install those beats agents on any server, and we can directly transmit logs data to Elasticsearch or Logstash, like logs and resource matrices and APM traces for application monitoring, performance monitoring. So there are various bits like file bit is used for log aggregation. So we can pull the logs from uh, servers and store it to Elasticsearch. And there is another bit called a metric bit. So using metric bit, uh, we can let's say gather matrices of servers. So let me get into the actual architecture of Elasticstack. So this is the architecture of Elasticstack. As I said, there are the multiple bits like file beat, metric beat, heartbeat. Okay, uh, so we can get different data using those agents and store it to Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch stores it in index or a document form. So Kibana can pull it from Elasticsearch and visualize it on uh, nice dashboards. So this is the actual architecture we are using for our monitoring setup. Okay, so we are installing agents on the application servers and gathering all the data from the servers to and store it to Elasticsearch and visualize it on Kibana. This is actual architecture. Uh, but we are not using actual Elastic search, sorry, ELK tool, but we are using its alternative called Open Distro for Elasticsearch. It is a AWS driven project. So it is completely open source and community based. driven software. So it has all premium features like alerting and security, so which are not present in ELK's basic license. So OpenDistro for Elasticsearch is based on Apache 2.0 license, and it is completely open source. So this is about the open. So we are utilizing this OpenDistro for Elasticsearch for our use case. Uh, Let me get into the demo part. Okay. So for the purpose of demo, I am going to log into Kibana dashboard. So this is the customized Kibana login page for our need. So I'm going to log in Kibana dashboard, which is tool from Elasticstack. Give me some time to. So, this is the home page of Kibana looks like. So let me quickly show the which features Kibana include. So Kibana has a Discover feature. So Discover enables you to quickly search and filter data and get information about any document from Elasticsearch, which are like logs and matrices. So there is another feature called dashboard. So that dashboard is a display for those searches from Discover tab. So we can save searches in Discover tab, and we will see it in later part. So dashboard is mainly for the displaying of visualizations, and there are multiple plugins to embrace the functionality, premium functionalities such like security. So security has we can set roles for a particular user. So to set role based access for our need. So we can do that also. There are plenty of pre-configured roles, so we can use a read-only role for the developers, so they don't have to they can't have, able to do any things like misplacing any indexes or like stuff. We also can set roles like uh, developer can see only development logs and environment only. So this is for the actual role-based access. So this is feature only in OpenDistro for free. Also, there is a feature called alerting. We will see a strong demo on this later. But let me go to homepage and add some sample data to check how we can uh, see dashboards. So there are multiple data sources like we can add a system logs using FileBit agent, as I said earlier. So we just have to download this FileBit agent on any remote server and configure it to uh, transfer any log files from that server to Elasticsearch. So these are the simple steps we have to do on any remote server to send the logs to Elasticsearch and Kibana. So this is based on FileBit agent. Okay, and there is another agent which is metric bit. So same steps for the this bit also. So we can easily set up various bits on servers, and also we can track uptime of servers. There are plenty of them. But I'm right now utilizing Apache logs, so we can get Apache logs from FileBit agent. So I have added a sample data of Apache log from here. So you can add it from here, sample data, and check for yourself how it looks like. But let me show a dashboard for that sample data. So here is a dashboard for the Apache log sample data. So you can see like uh, which unique visitors are visiting our website with the time-based histogram. Okay, so we can monitor it from here, and let's say uh, what host visits by table is unique visitors for a particular page or file. Uh, Also, we can filter it by country in heat map, so we can see where are visitors mostly from. Uh, this stuff we can achieve using visualizations. This is only from the logs which are from the access log of Apache. So this is totally based on log file visualization. Also, we can see what countries are from, means filter it out by countries. So we can do filters like that, and also we can select any uh, operating systems. Also, we can check logs or visualization from means using timeline. So I can monitor only for last 24 hours or last 7 days or last 15 minutes, let's say. Let me show you. So I can customize it as well. So I can hit check logs from last 5 hours, and let's hit apply. So I got only one hit uh, in last 5 hours. So that's how we can uh, check it by timeline. Okay, this is about Apache logs. Okay, and is on based on sample logs. Also, you can create your own dashboards uh, from here. Okay, you just have to come here and create dashboard. So you can select very numerous visualizations from here. So like a gauge of, we have seen here our dashboard earlier for CPU usage or memory usage or heat map like so. But I'm not getting into this right now. uh, I have to show you a discover feature. Okay, just to give me. So Discover feature has mainly four section. First one is here you can set filters. Also, you can write a QQL language, Kibana query language, to gather particular logs or a particular document. As I mentioned, timeline for a particular uh, timeline based logs we have to fetch, and here you can see documents. Okay, and this is the index pattern which is based on uh, bits actually. So we have to select the data from which bit we have to see. So I have selected Kibana sample data logs, which is file bit agent. So I have to select from here, index a pattern from here. So I can gather the log files or matrices for discovering or searching purpose. So here is a histogram based on a timeline, and these are the documents for a particular timestamp. So I can expand it and see uh, is what are the fields it has and what values for particular field. And in this section, there are the same fields in the document. So we can when we click on the particular field, we can see most of five values for that field. So so we can see most five agents like these are the agents, and also we can uh, uh, click on this plus button to set table according to those agents, or let's say coordinate geo coordinates. So I can see various geo coordinates for particular agent. So this is the Disco tab. Let me show quickly one more use case of Disco tab. So we can easily search over the data from Disco tab. So Disco tab is actually Elasticsearch is a text-based search engine. Okay, so I can easily search any text in here. Let's say I want to see only error logs. I will type it here, keyword like error, let's say, and hit enter. So it will gather all logs which contains that keyword, like I mentioned you. Okay, and this is the actual purpose of this filter. Also, we can filter it by any field from index pattern. As I said, here is a field called log file path. So I have to get is only logs from auth log. I can also do that. Actually, here are logs from multiple files, but I want a log from auth log. So I will just write uh, that field name. Okay, I just have to write field name, or I can get here and just select which log file path I want, or that filter is added here. Also, I can write it here also. Like so, uh, select it from here. Okay. So I'm getting logs from only debug uh, file. So if I press the plus button, I will see logs from a debug file because of this filter. Let's say I remove this filter, it will show logs from various files. So this is the purpose of this search feature in Discord feature. Okay, so you can see various log files. Also, you can monitor it by timeline. So this is about the Discover, and let me get into some pre-configured dashboard we have made. So this is the dashboard as we saw in earlier presentation. It is for the resource monitoring. As Shubham said, we can monitor CPU, memory, or various resources from the infrastructure. As of now, we have just one host, which is this, but we can keep track of multiple hosts in a single dashboard. Just we have to change this host name. This is nothing but the field from that index pattern, which we have pasted it in this dashboard. Uh, let's say in search, so we can monitor networks and extra. Also, I can do timeline based monitoring in dashboards also. So let's say in last 15 minutes. So this is the resource monitoring dashboard. Okay, and there was another dashboard which is container logs in presentation. So developer don't have to SSH into multiple servers and get logs uh, for debugging purpose. So he has to just come into Kibana dashboard, dashboard, and he can check for the different environments like development environment and staging environment are in same dashboard. So he just have to select a particular timeline he wants to debug. So he will most likely select a recent one like 15 minutes or something like that. So we can easily monitor it by timestamp here. So uh, so you can see what actual log at that moment, and you can take your decisions accordingly. Okay, so this is what we have created for our client. Uh, okay, there is another uh, dashboard which is for application logs similar to container logs. Okay, these are the things in a dashboard. So as we said, we are using alerting for particular events which causes any problem to our infrastructure. We have one sample alert here, like disk usage. Okay, so let's say your application server exceeds disk usage above 90% or let's say 80%, we can alert it over email or Slack or any Facebook. So quickly, let me show how to set it in Kibana. So here I have created a monitor name disk usage one. Okay, and we have to select method for it. And we can also use extraction query, which is a JSON format. So we just have to put JSON query in this this format. So let me show a visual graph because it is easy to set up. Then I have selected index pattern, which is metric bit. So I'm getting matrices from the metric bit. So I can monitor those matrices and fields. As I have mentioned logic over here. So I'm looking for the file bit use percentage, which is nothing but the actual use percentage of our disk usage. Okay. Uh, disk usage, and I'm here mentioning the logic. If disk usage is greater than the 50%, uh, I just have to mention 0.5 because matrices has a format like this. So this is nothing but the 50%. If the disk usage it's over 50%, it will alert us on various integrations like Slack and email. So this is about the logic for that. I can select any other fields like RAM or something like that. So just I have to select particular field for it. So file system has those fields. Like I can use this free method to create monitor for RAM also. For now, we will see for disk usage. We can monitor it by interval. So I'm for right now, I'm using a 1 minute interval. So it will check after every 1 minute. So after creating monitor, we have to create a trigger for it. So this is a trigger I have created earlier. So in the trigger, same we just have to name it and set a severity level. Means you can prioritize any alert in your uh, responses, and I just have to set a threshold value for it. So as I mentioned, I'm checking for the disk usage threshold is 50%. As you can see, this is the line for current disk usage, which is nothing but 0.6 means 65%, and I'm checking with threshold 0.5. So it should have to trigger it us, and in the trigger part we have to add action. Okay, uh, I have added one action called slack. This action has custom message. As I mentioned, this message disk usage is above 50%. So you can set it by your need. So this is action, and there is one more part which is Slack is a destination. So where we want to send those notifications. So I have created one integration for Slack. So you can add any destination like email or any custom webhook from here or Amazon Sheen. Uh, as for now, I have added a Slack integration. So let me enable it and show how it triggers a notification alert to us on Slack. So I just have enabled it. So after 1 minute, it should trigger us on Slack. So this is about the alerting. So easily we can easily set alerts for matrices or any logs from here. And this is a premium feature for Elastic Stack, but we are using OpenDisto for Elasticsearch, which is completely open source, and they are giving this functionality as a plugin. Okay, uh, just wait for some time. Okay, it has triggered notification in this Slack channel as I have created for demo, and this is the trigger which says custom message like disk usage is above 50%. Okay, this is the alerting part. Let me disable it. Okay. And this again we are using one tool called Versa. Let me introduce it in short. So Versa is a open source security is an open source security solution which is used to collect, aggregate, and analyze security events or data, helping organizations to detect intrusion and threats in infrastructure. As cyber threats are becoming more complicated, and to keep track of them is a very complicated process. So there is a tool which has those those features all in one place, like compliance monitoring, uh, compliances like HIPAA or GDPR, HIPAA is nothing but Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act for healthcare startups or let's say industries. GDPR is a General Data Protection Regulation compliance. So it has another feature is it alert us on security events like failed SSH attempts or let's say brute force attacks. Uh, so it has various pre-configured rules uh, which are analyzed on our logs. So it will trigger us, means it will generate reports on our logs from our any server. So it also has a lightweight agent, which is was a agent. We have to install it on servers. So also Waza has a vulnerability uh, detection. So we can get any vulnerabilities on our applications or stuff. Also, we can check what is sorry, uh, our CIS report accordingly. So this is about the WASA. We are not covering uh, all the components of WASA in this section, this webinar. Okay. So this is it about today's demo for Elastic Open Distro for Elasticsearch. As I have said, Open Distro WASA is an open security security platform. We are using it here, and let's get into question answer session.